but we'll see. You all is here with me and see if everything's up and running. Let me know if y'all can hear me. It's your man R Son, the voice of reason, live here on Gangstagrass.tv, holding it down. Um, yeah, as y'all can see, my setup's a little different. I don't get a chance to work out as much as I should, so now as I do whatever I'm doing here on the mic, meetings and such, I do it here on my exercise bike because I'm fat. I need to get back in shape. So I figure if I do it from here, throw a do a little bit of extra. Yeah, I mean, now I'm hoping that all of my stuff is up and running. The whole shebangity bang from Gangstagrass. I got to double check. Probably should have done that before I started it, but sometimes you just gotta just kind of jump right into it and see what's happening, see what's what. I got cables all mixed up on my bike and such. But yeah, man, I'm live. It's been an interesting couple of weeks since I've seen y'all last. Lots and lots of touring. Uh, Gangsta Grass we was running all over the place. My TV is acting up all of a sudden. I don't know what's going on. It's a strange time in my house right now. But I'm here, and that's all that really matters. Hopefully, y'all are here with me. Let's see who's with me. Let's see here. Is anybody with me on Twitch? Doesn't look like it. Oh boy. Doesn't look like we got anything happening at all. Let's see. Nope. Nope. And nope. Okay, so we're going to turn this off and turn it back on. I'll be back. I hope. And on YouTube, so shout out to my YouTube people. We're not happening on Facebook. Now, the really funny part about this is, as I'm doing all this, I got myself wrapped up in my exercise bike. So now I'm about to kill myself on my own exercise bike. I'll tell you what, man, this is not. Come on, y'all. I appreciate that, whoever that was. I did something real stupid now. My mic cable. My mic cable is hooked up to is wrapped around my pedal. Why? Why not? Why not is the better answer. But we back. What's good? Your man, our son, the voice of reason, holding it down. Bike tires and bike all messed up and whatnot. Cause I'm a goof. Wait a minute. Hold on. Let's see what's going on. Is Twitch happening? Twitch is not happening. Wait a minute. How'd that happen if Twitch is happening? I'm so confused right now. Alright, so we are on YouTube. Shout out to my YouTube squad. Shout out to my YouTube squad. Yay. L Croft, big what's up? What's up? See, yeah. Well, see, Noli's channel hooked up a lot of people to what we're doing over here. Shout out to Noli D. Yeah, I mean, she be putting the world onto to the gangster grass and stuff, and we appreciate that, man. We really do appreciate that. So yeah, like man, we live, just kicking it. I don't know how many of y'all were around for. Oh, come on, Twitch, what are you doing, baby? How many of y'all were around for our? If you guys got any of the lowdown on our tour the last couple of weeks, but man, we had a couple of bangers this weekend. We hit Carborough, North Carolina. We hit Greenville, South Carolina, and Lexington, Kentucky. Greenville was the biggest one. That was a festival that we killed. Shout out to Greenville. That was a good time. Our first time there. Carborough It was our first time there, and then we've been to Lexington a few times, and Lexington was a good time, man. We had a good old time in Lexington. Shout out to the Burl. Um, Shout out to my son, who came with me on this tour. He took a couple days off of school because I didn't have a sitter, which is wild. But sometimes you got to do what you got to do. So he got a chance to get up on stage with us and just kick it, and just experience something that a lot of 7-year olds don't get a chance to do. All right, Chesia, shouting out from Brooklyn. You got to say Brooklyn like that. You got to say Brooklyn. What was the kid from the Boondocks? Not Riley and not Huey. The kid with the dreads. I forget his name. Yeah, that was my dude. But yeah, shout out to Brooklyn, Wrench's stomping grounds, and where we tell the world that we're based at because the mastermind is based there. Um, and yeah, we got a chance to figure out what's going on. Oh no, Twitch and Facebook streams are down. Oh no, that's not good. Good thing all my YouTube people are here chilling. I gotta let folks know that we're over here on YouTube because Gangstagrass TV is acting a fool. So if y'all would just bear with me for a moment, this is what I'm gonna do. This is how we do this, man. This is how we keep the whole world informed of what's going on and such. If I remember correctly, the what's it? yt.gangsterass.tv. Yeah, that's what it is. Naptown, what up? Rap poetry, what's good? Yeah, our Twitch is acting up. I'm glad you joined us over here on on YouTube. Big ups, big ups, big ups. Tell all your friends we're over here. Like I said, y'all gotta bear with me for just a second. I'm gonna send this message to all our people that join us on YT on what is it? YT. That's not it. Dot Gangstagrass dot TV. Yeah, I think that's it. I believe that's it. We'll see. We'll see. Wings on your six. Very nice. Very dope. I like that. I like that. Very that's the one that Samuel Jackson plays. Uh no. It's the kid I'm talking about. It's the kid that I'm talking about. He never made it to the cartoon. He never made it to the cartoon. He was in the comic strip. His name started with an M, I think. But I can't think of it. He looks exactly like my friend Grayson. Um, and it's gonna drive me nuts now. I would look it up, but I'm focusing on y'all right now that have joined us here on YouTube. There's usually way more of us here between Facebook and Twitch and YouTube, but right now the Facebook and Twitch streams are down, so you guys are just hanging out with me here on YouTube. Your man R Son, the voice of reason, representing Gangstagrass Tuesday night, the bars breakdown. Sorry, I'm a little bit behind on introducing everything. This has been like the fourth or fifth different name of the show. um, what I've been doing is just sort of introducing folks to a lot of the stuff that's on different Gangstagrass songs, different all kinds of different stuff. Some of my solo stuff, whatever. And I call it the bars breakdown because if you ever see like the captions for our stuff on YouTube, oh my god, the captions are a nightmare. And so I want folks to be able to know exactly what's being rapped at them, exactly what they're hearing. And what you're hearing right now is me untangling my microphone cable from the pedals of my exercise bike because this is where I work out now, and it's got wrapped around the pedal john. Why? Because this is my world. This is how my life works. Um, yeah, you know but you know what I'm talking about, right? You know what I'm talking about? Anyway, we'll figure it out. In the meantime, like I said, this is the bars breakdown. And tonight is the unrecorded gems edition, which is sad because a lot of folks are gonna miss these joints. I have a ton of. If you ever see me out on tour, you see me with this bag, right? And this bag is full of rhyme books. There are about 8 of them in here. 8, 9, something like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, there's 8 different rhyme books in here. Um, some of the stuff has been recorded and is on various Gangstagrass projects. Some of it's been recorded and is on some of my solo stuff. Some of it is not recorded. And so, while I usually like to give you guys what you're actually hearing on the various joints that we rock out on and the stuff that you can find online and from the albums and so on and so forth, tonight the plan was to give you guys some unreleased stuff, some joints you had never heard before, and we're gonna do that in just a minute. We'll do that part later. We'll do this part later. So tonight we're gonna start off with. Let's see here. What I'm gonna bless you guys with first today. We're gonna start with moving this over here so that I can actually access it because, like I said, it's stuck in my pedal. I'm gonna show you guys this by the end of the show. You got to see how this is set up right now. But yeah, man, we started some new stuff. Gangstagrass has started a whole bunch of new stuff. I'm not giving you. No, there's one in here that I can't give you yet. There's a brand new one, brand new Gangstagrass joint in here. You can't have that one yet. So we're gonna go classic for you guys. A bunch of stuff that I just wrote, some stuff that was just dope rhymes. I wrote a joint called Solstice, which I think I may have given y'all before. I'm not sure if I gave you Solstice before. Solstice was a joint that I wrote with my man's for a beat that my man Kevin Vecchione had made this beat. He's playing bass on it. Shout out to K-Vex. And man, it was a killer, dude. It was an absolute killer. And I need to that's on the gangster. This is on Dolio's joint. There's Solstice. Alright, so look. We did so my man K-Vex, he dropped a joint. I love this beat for him. Him and the guitar player in the same band, my man Everett Gray, who plays guitar for BB Rexa now, and it's just one of the greatest guitar players I've ever heard in my life. He's fantastic. I had written this joint for them. I switched it up because I'm gonna switch it to a Gangstagrass track. But yeah, so this is a joint called Solstice, and it goes like this. My only summertime blues are the sky and my shoes, a fresh new pair of kicks I use to stomp bricks of the city where I dwell. Philly where it's hell in some spots, but usually for me it's heavenly. Morning temps at 70 degrees and climbing. Called up Dolio, I need to find him. Man, we got an early session for some beats and rhyming, but there's no way that we can be inside when the street is vibing like a track by Roy Ayers. Head to South Street and meet some of my boys there, playing voyeur at all the passing dimes. Just another way for them to pass the time. What you cats trying to do? I heard the whole Ill Vibe crew is spinning tunes all afternoon on the ones and twos. Down on Front and Spruce, classics from the true school. Everyone is coming through. First, I'm going to the zoo with the kids, the most important part of the life that I live. I'll meet y'all at the DJ spot in a bit, and we can get our party on until they quit. damn, they got it in. We sweating from the grooving. Go change before Go change before I make the next movement. This is that music for a hot summer night. Let's ride. I see you brothers on the other side. Now, the unfortunate part is I wrote this before the world fell apart and there was no more hanging out and rocking and parties and all that kind of shit. But with any luck, we'll get back to all that someday soon, and I can actually record this and do this joint for real. Because I love this. I love this beat that KVX did. I'm hoping I can find it. I lost it. That's the other fucked up part. I lost it somewhere in the midst of my various emails and shit. So somewhere it's out there. Um, so yeah, verse 2 goes like this. All the stars in the night barely match the shine of the skyline of this fly city of mine, Philly divine, with a little bit of the devil in it. Some cats despise it, other brothers revel in it. If you got a holster with some metal in it, please stay at ease, cause there's a shortage of nights like these. Those inclined to find some fly trees or sip on some licks and get buzzing like bees. My team always knows they can get a little nicer, cause when I roll, they always have a designated driver. The day gets lighter as the sun sets. Ready for some more fun bet, and you know we ain't done yet. My done let us in the spot without paying the cover. He knows it's them boys from Gangstagrass and the Flight Brothers. On a night such as this, we get it on and cracking. Looks like the cats on the stage is more than lacking. Good thing Wrench and Dan are packing strings, cause the host asked us if we could do our thing. The DJ put on some kicks and drums so the brothers could get it done with some picks and strums. Allow me to spit 'em some curriculum and show the people exactly how this hip hop gets done. Mixed with a bit of funk is hot, but we're the coldest. And showed you just how we rock for the solstice. You know what I'm saying? So with any luck, like I said, these nights will happen again, and cats will be able to just sort of roll up in the spot. You know what I mean? And everybody will be cool, and we won't be worried about catching the boogaloos and all that other shit. Um, but yeah, man, that's the joint Solstice that I wrote a couple years back, man. Shout out to my man KVX. He was KVX is a monster, dude. One of the illest bassists I've ever heard. Just super, super dope. And a good friend of mine, he's out in Vegas. Shout out to KVX, Kevin Vecchione, and my man Everett Gray from Corduroy. Shout out to Hub, still holding it down in a new incarnation of Corduroy down in Delaware. To Jimmy, and of course, rest in peace to the God Thomas Clay, my man TC, rest in peace, one of the illest drummers ever, dude. TC, rest in peace, bro. Yeah, man. The more I went through this book, and I've used some of these books, some of these verses that I just kind of wrote. A bunch of the stuff is on the first mixtape. Doug, thanks a lot, man. We had a great time in South Carolina. It was a real good time. Um, yeah, so but yeah, I use a couple of these verses for some of the mixtapes joints that we did. Y'all know we did two mixtapes. The first one called My Brother Where You At, available on audiomac.com/gangstagrass. The second one, Will the Cipher Be Unbroken? A couple of those singles have dropped. They are on YouTube, on your various streaming platforms. You can check those out. Yeah, they're all over the place, man. And we just been just kind of rocking out on those. You can check those out at any time. Um, but yeah, man, I got a bunch of this stuff just sort of written and that wound up in uh, different places. Joints that I wrote about Johns and hitting on Johns and all kinds of goofball shit, man. Like, hold on, where's that one? I wrote this one for my kids that I still have to record. That's going on my next album. Um, where's the one? Hold on a second here. Now, again, this is a little bit older stuff. When he was when a young man thought he was cool and shit. You know what I mean? And thought I could, how I would rap the Jones or whatever. Um, but I gave y'all that one before. Gave you that one before. Gave you that one before. That one too. See, I've done this before, so a lot of this is like one of these joints actually wound up being the the first verse from Bound to Ride. This was just a classic joint that I was like, all right, I need something to drop for this Gangstagrass shit, and Bound to Ride came out of this book. Um, so the joint from the one mixtape, we did a version of a song called "Tried by 12." No more cussing. Did I curse? I probably did. I do that sometimes. You got to forgive me, Thomas. Um, but I'm grown, so I do that every now and again. So like the joint, there's a classic hip hop joint called "Tried by 12." A lot of hip hop cats know the beat, love the beat. I've never heard the song. Shout out to Lawrence Arnell. He told me he had never heard the actual words to the song. Um, but yeah, we did a version of that, and I had like again, I had written this verse for a couple of different things, but it just fit on that one, and it's like microphone carnivore, master of the art of war, rhyme chef cooking up the stuff fans are starving for. Only my peers remain competitors. They are no more. They bit off more than they can chew and got more than they bargained for. Mighty Thor, god of storm, I only made it get rain. When I spit a monsoon flow to saturate your brain, evacuate the plains they're about to get flooded, to wash away all of those cats who can't cut it. There's only so many who can stand at the summit. So when I arrive, a bunch are gonna plummet, emptying the stomachs in the fall that follows, covering the ground with the pride they swallowed. In the name of those who died at makeshift gallows, slaves buried in graves unmarked and unhallowed, left alone to rot in fields that fell fallow. I renew my vow to remove the shallow, foretold by prophecy read in the tarot. From serfs to servants to kings and pharaohs, the buffer when you're suffering the slings and arrows. Our sun shines, dispelling all the shadows. You know what I'm saying? And the cool thing about the mixtape joints is that they didn't really have to have a real focus. None of them were like, all right, this has to be that way, and this is about that. And so you're allowed to just kind of, just sort of throw some stuff out there and make it dope. All right. So look. Um, all right. So this is what I was telling y'all about. I wrote a couple joints. Yeah, I mean when a cat think he kind of cool and whatnot, so it'd be like, you don't need to be a size 2 to be considered a 10. Please ignore the opinions of these ignorant men telling you you got to be some kind of stick figure because they don't have the game to try and get with you. I like a chick a bit thicker, but in the big picture, it's more about the sum total, not about the parts. And I'm getting at some of your hearts with my words. I'm still really digging on some of your curves. You might say I got some nerve to even mention that the shape of your body even caught my attention. And if I'm sensing any apprehension, let me rub your feet, it'll relieve the tension. I'll be that tall drink of water for quenching your thirst. For what it's worth, you should always finish first. So if the cat that you call ain't give until it hurts, just know I earned my rep for putting in work. You know what I mean? It gets a little wild, a little weird, a little crazy. Um, but but Thomas Esch, no more cussing. I didn't curse in that one. Now this one, you know, you're wondering how the dude with just pocket change steadily maintain with a flock of dames. Is it because he got magic like Doctor Strange to keep their pulse rates rising like the stock exchange? Yeah, it must be because he lacks all the fancy shit. Yet dudes still wish they were the kind of cat Randy is, who manages to leave many a dime pantyless, acting rather scandalous, still staying scandalous, meaning life is mostly drama free. Keep the kids smiling like their favorite comedy. Keep the ladies smiling like their favorite comedy. The sort of man the dudes should be trying to be, but they can't, so they're fraught with anxiety. Sorry, Charlie, my talents can't be taught. Reproduce, process, bitten, or bought. I didn't even finish that one. That was just kind of goofy. Uh, Love you when we fly. If you want to go down a darker gangster path between the violin and the banjo, go good with your bar. By the way, the violin and the banjo go good with your bar. Thank you very much, Aries Godaware. Um, you know what? I never really went all that gangster. I'm not. I can tell a story, right? I can tell a story in that sort of manner because I can write. You know what I mean? I'm a fairly good writer, so I can create a story, right? But at the same time, um, it's not as real for me. You know what I'm saying? It's just not as it's just not as realistic. It doesn't. Uh, yeah, I mean, you know, what I mean, every now and again, I can get a little different with the verses. Most of the time, it's just me talking shit about being dope and whatever. But, um, yeah, I've done that. I've done that. There's one in here about. It's a really long verse too. It was gonna be a whole song. A lot of these wound up being like real long joints about some goofball stuff. Coffee Break was the one I did with Dolio. Oh man, where's that one that I wrote about? Yo, this is some. There's some really goofy stuff in here. Supreme is a song. That one, hold on. That's Quick Draw. It became a Gangstagrass joint. Uh, oh, this is the joint that I wrote about. All right. All right. Hold on a sec. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. All right. Yeah. I never even finished this joint. All right. Check this out. C. Hewlett. Thanks a lot, man. That's on the yeah, Amber. That's on Amber Dawn. That's on the if you go to what's that thing called? Gangstagrass dot audiomac.com/gangstagrass on the mixtape. Um, my brother, where you at? It's on the track. It's on one of the tracks that verse is on there. So look, I did this whole joint. All right, I never finished this, so bear with me. In the midst of all the falsehoods and fakery, she was in a place to be with more cake than a bakery. I really wasn't ready for the way she was making me feel. I had to make it real and check my bravery. Hey lady, I never seen you in this spot before. It seems as though that you got a lot in store. If I could stop you for a moment, we could chat about the world and such. This ain't the type of joint to seize you. This ain't the type of joint to seize your type of girl too much. And what type is that? She responded rather brusquely. Relax, I replied. No insult intended. Trust me. It's just the sorts of parties don't bring your sort of rare range. To call you a dime would imply you were spare change. She stared strange at me, then chuckled at my quips, which brought a smile in between her perfect set of lips. I said I could think of a bunch of things I'd rather do than this. Reached my hand out in a show of proper etiquette. Let's go upstairs. My DJ up there is playing live a joint. She said I'm not really a fan of what's on, but that's beside the point. That's my baby cousin on the decks, and it's his first gig. I told him I would come and represent before he gets big. I said I was digging the kid. He's kind of nice, but he needs some fresher records in his life. He knows, she replied, but he's affected by his wife, so he has to play the hit so he can get a better price. But it's whatever, right? She spoke with a little frown, the thought of which I could tell made her a little down. She moved the digits to the sound of the cuts. Oh, so you DJ too, huh? That's what's up. Where can a brother come and see you spend? 'Cause on the real, I'm deaf trying to see you again. Her eyes lit up, and she gave me another grin. Told me about a little bitty spot on 10th, where she would get it in on every other Sunday. Even better to know, 'cause that was only one day away. Okay, then I'll see you tomorrow, no doubt. Had to dip real quick, 'cause a fight had broke out. And when I came back from dragging out the assholes, my partner told me, yo, she had to go, feeling kind of salty, almost seemed like she had fronted. Oh, John left the number for you. I got it if you want it. Went out the next night to see the lady spin. She had me put on the list so I didn't pay to get in with a little note attached. It said she hoped I would come through. When I got there, she was already on the one and two. We'll see what happens with this, man. I'm having a good time. I'm having a good time. I was having a good time writing that, so we'll see. We'll see how that works out. Try it lit temple stuff thing. Undercover tourist was good. Marianne Ruggernon, Norway, what's good? What's up? How are you? Yo, we holding it down. Norway, what's up? Yeah, man. So I'm gonna finish that joint one of these days. Um, yeah, I had a good time writing that. Yeah, there's a lot of Gangstagrass stuff in this book right now. Our recorded version of Made a Circle Be Unbroken. I wrote that. That's in here. Rainstorm in Kentucky is in here. 2 Yards is in here. Flying Molasses Brothers from the mental advisory joint. Monkey Knife Fights and a Fistful of Pancakes. That's in here. Yeah, me and Dolio writing that. That was hilarious. That was a good time. That was a real good time. Oh yeah. Oh okay. All right. So I wrote this other joint. All right. Check this out. Jacob, what's good, man? How are you? Noli, thank you very much. Marianne. Wow. Norway. Dope. Very dope. All right. So check this out. This is another joint that I wrote. I was trying to figure out what to call it. It's either going to be called Conference Call or This One Time. It's another one of these long, goofy ass just stories I started writing. Um, so it was like another town I had never been before. Got off the phone, hopped in my rental car. Another conference center, another damn seminar, full of more bull than a maze full of minotaurs, set to go nuts and start swinging like a scimitar. That's when I saw her. That's when I saw her. She had saucy hair. She had a saucy haircut like an '80s Pat Benatar. You gotta forgive me. I usually need a beat on that. A walk she could use for a break in the law. Then she opened up a jaw and mine dropped. Voice so sexy it made my spine hot. Thought to myself I had to have her, and I've got nothing to lose or to prove, so why not? Said I liked her ideas and her mind lots. Why don't we go back and discuss a little bit at my spot? She told me most men only try that game. She told me most men only try that game after 5 shot, or they tried to impress her with a fleet of 5 yachts. I said I'm not big on drugs and drinking. Got a bit saved, but I'm no kingpin. I will let you know exactly what I'm thinking. Then I dipped for a bit to let that sink in. She found me on Facebook, looked me up on LinkedIn, asked her friend if she could borrow an ink pen. Made her way across the room in a blink, then whispered in my ear that she had an inkling that we could have a good time while we're in town. Pulled up my sleeve and wrote a room number down. Said when I was done that I should come around. If I couldn't find her, then I should hunt her down. She wanted to be found. She didn't stray too far. Caught her outside at the pool bar. Oh, there she are, she said. There you are, smiling when she'd see me. And I smiled right back, checking her in that bikini, not wanting to be too sleazy. I turned my head away, just trying to take it easy. She told me it was cold to look. She said, believe me, I enjoy the look on a man's face when he sees me. Is that so? Okay, how do you read me? I don't know the words, but your thoughts aren't PG. Look, I don't want to seem unseemly, but what I've seen is you is sexy, Miss Lady, extremely. Pretty brown skin, all caramel creamy, and your girlfriend is all set to double team me. So how's about we three retreat to the penthouse and let me get the first taste of you from your friend's mouth? She turned around and bent down, voice all scandalous. She said, you're pretty fly, but I don't think you can handle this. I took 'em both stairs and lit some candle up and told her, don't sweat it. I'll take my chances, love. Yo, yeah, I mean, I'm out here with some joints that I never even recorded. I may have to record this verse. I gotta find a good beat for it. Um, just kind of random rap shit. Long Gray River is in here too. This book is full of gems. Funny story. I've never memorized the second verse to Long Gray River. I always do that live. So the first verse I'll spit, and then the second verse I always do. I drop a freestyle for wherever I'm at because I've never recorded that verse. I don't remember that verse. Don't remember it at all, which I suppose is terrible. But I probably should remember it, but I don't. Yeah. So what I mean, we get a little crazy every now and again. Um, what's that? What is that? Ain't no crime is in here. Oh, death is in here. Peach is in here. Uh, Monkey knife fights is in here. Twisted is in here. Barn burning is in here. Ain't going to heaven is in here. Never go home is in here. Yeah, man, this is my classic Gangstagrass joint right here, man. This is all this is a good bit of my Gangstagrass stuff is in this book. What song do I love performing the most? Um, right now it's Ain't No Crime. I love doing Ain't No Crime. That's my joint. Um, and then sorry, my headphones are all tangled up. Ain't No Crime is dope. What I Am is dope. I love that verse. I love doing that one. Red Sky Morning is one of my favorite verses ever, and we just flipped the way we do it live. So I'm loving doing Red Sky Morning live. That's my joint, man. That is a good time. Just rock the way the crowd is reacting to that and stuff. That's a good time. I like that one a lot. Um, what other stuff do I have in here? Like I said, it's Bars Breakdown tonight on Gangstagrass.tv on YouTube because Twitch isn't working. So shout out to everybody that's hanging out with us here on YouTube. Um, but like I said, there's a bunch of the tonight's Bars Breakdown is the unreleased edition, the unrecorded edition, just a bunch of random stuff um, that never got recorded. That's on the mixtape. There's a cover version of uh, Bittersweet Symphony that may come out someday. Um, that's on there. That's out there somewhere. Affirmative is in here. There's a couple joints from my album that are in here. There's a joint that I did with the brother Lawrence Arnell and Shatora Lane that I need to finally finish. I have everybody's stuff. I just have to put the whole song together. Um, Produced by Chops the Magnificent Butcher of Mountain Brothers fame, an all-time great in my opinion, and a good friend of mine here from Philly. Um, Nickel and Dime Blues is in here. Super Ego from my album Boom Bap Therapy is in here. Red River. Shout out to my baby sis Landry McMeans. We had a joint called Red River that we used to do that she had written that we used to rock out. And it was the first sort of triplets joint that I ever spit. Um, I have a very specific rhyme style that I'm used to. The way that I'm used to spitting is very. It's very similar most of the time. And if you notice, Dolio is able to. He does a lot different things, and a lot of that is just coming. Listening to a lot of different styles of rap coming up, and more than I did, right? So a lot of cats down south would spit in a different because a lot of the production was different, would spit in a different manner. Um, so when we did this song Red River, I had to really train myself to spit differently. And if you've never heard Jess Ann, thank you very much. We really appreciate that. Thank you for joining us. Um, it's different than the way I usually spit. You know, what I mean, I'm usually used to just writing in fours and kind of going along like that. Even the ones that I was doing tonight uh, were a little bit longer and whatever, and the some of the patterns sort of changing out, but it's fairly similar, right? But this joint, Red River, which if you ever seen us live, had seen us live a couple years back. We used to do this joint a lot, but I don't know if we ever recorded it. There's a video of it that we recorded at what's that place called? City Winery in New York. But I don't know that there's a recording of it anywhere else. Um, and it's different, and you'll hear how different it is. It's like waking up in a strange place. Everywhere I look, I see another strange face. Trying to get home and I can't wait. Guess it's time to put on my game face. Activate the hustle till there's none left. MC on the roof, sunrise to sunset. Told the audience there's nowhere to run yet. They wasn't trying to get nowhere. We wasn't even done yet. 1 to 100 miles per minute. Gotta keep moving because the job ain't finished. By the time I'm done with just one sentence, this will be my house like Rev Run Simmons. Life gave lemons, add sugar and water to it. Consult the elders to see how I ought to do it. If it ain't done, pass it off to my young ones so you can watch how my sons and my daughter do it. Different flow, different patterns. Because the beat on that was very different for me. Um, and like I said, shout out to Jolio. He's kind of helped me sort of figure out how to bounce that track the way that I did. Um, Gangstagrass's version of Annie Up is in here as well. There is a very dope version of that we did for the newest mixtape. Will the cipher be unbroken? Is this telling me that Twitch is working? No. Which is even better because wait, hold on. No, we're not. We are not up and running, but somebody joined us anyway. Thank you so much. We appreciate that. Yeah. It's on the live. It is on the live album. See, shout out to Sleeves for reminding me of stuff that I don't even know. There's a verse here for a joint. Oh, that no, I can't give you that one because that's not done yet. There's another verse here that I started that's about verses that I never finished. That someday I'm gonna finish, but it's just sort of yeah. Go listen to Red River. It's dope. It's dope. It is a very dope joint, man. I'm a fan. I'm a fan. Shout out to my baby sis Landry, doing her thing, artist extraordinaire. Uh, See, I'll be just tearing pages out. You know what I mean? So the one joint I started is like the modus operandi of Randy. Always something to say, so I keep a pen handy. Perfect eloquence, so you understand me. The rocket's about to take off. Pull back from the gantry. Manly in ways many men can't be. Cause I spend time between rhyming, taking care of my family. Cooking up in the kitchen what I raided from the pantry. Linguine, noodles, spinach, and shrimp scampi. Flavor like the spices in your grandma's cooking. Tasty on the tip of the tongue and good looking. Keep it 100, give you all that you wanted. Whether you rep Philly or your hood's Brooklyn. I don't know what I'm going to do with that. Just a, random 12 bars that I can stick somewhere because, it was fun to write. Um, yeah, man, there's another book down here. Here's how old this book is. I'm going to show y'all this one right here. This one was a gift from my ex-wife before we had even got married. Um, there are dates in there. I got this in, Jesus Christ, I got this in July of 2000. That's how old this rhyme book is. Um, and one of the things that I started doing um, is trying to keep everything that I write as relevant as possible so that if I go back to it, it doesn't sound dated. Um, so you'll never hear me say what year it is. It's just the 2000 and now. I started writing that in '95 because I didn't want it to sound dated. And so there's a joint in here that I wrote God knows how long ago that I'm about to record with Gangstagrass. Um, but it's just a matter of keeping the verses relevant so that they still, you can still spit them however many years later. Um, it's actually I was gonna do a remix to my song Balance, and this verse just actually kind of worked better for this. Um, there's a couple of joints in here that you hear at Gangstagrass shows that I started using just because I remembered them. to, to to be totally honest, it was just a little bit easier for it to do. The joint that I do on Red Sky, not Red Sky Morning, All for One. That's not the album version. Is in this book. Um, there's a joint in here called Dia Infernal, which I think might be Spanish for Day from Hell. Um, and it's just about a really shitty day that I had. Was late for work, got fired from my job. And I got beat up by the cops, and then my girl broke up on me. All in the same song. And it's a long joint. You know what I mean? This is how I used to write. I used to write these epic joints. If you've heard War of the Words, you know how I do. But this one I actually need to record because, again, it still works. You know what I mean? It's still. You just got fired from a job. See, right? That shit happens. Um, all right, so there's a joint here, and I think this might be the last one for the night. There's a joint here called Sci-Fi, right? Um, and y'all know, as y'all can see, what I mean, it's full nerddom up here in Casa Verde, and I, if you've heard my joint War of the Words, it's all about lots of very cool sci-fi references, and that's just how my brain works. And so I wrote this joint, and it was just a standard, 316 bar track that I never really found the perfect beat for. I may still record this joint, but it's very like late '90s, early 2000 uh, rap shit. So it's like turn the set on, I set it off and set it aflame. Bet your game ain't enough to snuff my conflagration. My contemplation can convert congregations and confirmations. Bless the microphone with holy water salivations. Man your battle stations, rattle nations with my calculations. Shaking their foundations like heart palpitations. Triple bypass surgery, open up your ventricle. The pinnacle, what I write keeps tight grips like a tentacle. Rand's mind plans rhymes to elevate mankind. Planet underground to blow up like a landmine. It's exam time. If you're hip hop, you don't need cheat sheets. Good wild styles on beat streets are ingrained in your memory. Example of exemplary flows and extrasensory perception. Telepathic for detection of deception. The rule exception. Most MCs can't pass inspection. Wind up carbon frozen. Shipped to my collection on Bespin. That's the first verse. The second verse goes, the battle lines are drawn, cross them at your own risk. Laser guided word weaponry that weren't missed. Microphone Smith, forging titanium verses engraved into your brain on the first day that you heard it. My verbiage urges insurgents to rebel. Stormtroopers on the verge of surging get repelled. Jet propelled lyrics reach escape velocity. Space and time collapse from the fury and ferocity. Dimensional apertures and wormholes. Solar flame infernos from the pages of my journals. Our son, the eternal hyperspace traveler. Run alliance missions disguised as an ambassador, but my true form fights for freedom like the Panthers. Solved the Sphinx's riddle, but he didn't like the answer. I come across on mics with truth and candor. Reveal your skills to be nothing but delusions of grandeur. You know what I mean? We throw a little bit of Star Wars in there. You know what I mean? And then the last verse goes the sunlight shines to dispel menacing phantoms. Cubist art styles create new ghetto anthems. Day becomes night with every axis revolution. With each, I'm called upon
I'm called upon to develop solutions. Only evolution and my genetic structure could have ever constructed this style you don't want to fuck with. Skill parallel to mine was never seen before, turning asteroid belts to storms of meteors, showering down, bruise your ego with the impact. Nothing left intact from the attack of my syntax. Attach my synapse to a computer interface to save my brainwaves and launch them into space. In the case of the end of days, the rocket reappears, instilling a new hope as the apocalypse appears. Reborn, I emerge to oversee the rebirth, the last son of Claudia, savior of the earth. So that's the joint Sci-Fi. I may touch that up a little bit and record it someday. There's some stuff in there and that I like. Some of it is very sort of like very 96 hip hop sort of lyrical miracle shit. But you know what I mean? I never gave up on that. You know what I mean? That's just the way I've written for a long time. So I'm gonna hold on to that one. Uh, It's a joint from the Flight Brothers. My man Ad Liberal and I put out an album in 2000 called the Aaron and Wayne Review. A joint we did called Healthy 3 is in here. Shout out to Mark Zumoff. Sixers up in the joint. Mark Zumoff, salute. Uh, Logic and Reason joint that I did with my man Lewis Logic, one of the guys that got me started actually rhyming. That's in here. Um, you can actually hear that. That's online if you just look up. If you look up Lewis Logic, the track's called Logic and Reason. That was my joint. Yeah, man. There's lots of anime, lots of sci-fi comic book stuff. Um, that I was kind of on, that I'm still on. You know what I mean? It's like it's going anywhere. Uh, oh, I did this joint. Oh, yo, this is a joint I did with my man. Oh, wow. Me, who was on this joint? Moses, Snuff, Keen, and Tommy did this joint. I think Penn Love is on this too. Shout out to Penn Love. Rest in peace, man. One of my homies from Penn State that passed away last year. Yeah, I gave you guys this one before. There's a joint that I did with the crew, my figures of speech crew. Um, and all right, so this joint right here, I started writing this. We was chilling in Philly one night, down on Market Street, just kind of hanging out. Me, bunch of the fellas, my ex was there. We was all chilling, and Tim Roth walked by. I forget what movie where he was in town shooting, but we were like, "Oh shit, Tim Roth." Um, but I had something in my head, and so that's when I started writing this one down. Um, it's like my style's the high definition, audio enhancing, raw Philly shit. Peep how my pen's landing in a battle. FOS, the last men standing, putting more heads to bed than 10 sandmen in ghettos in Camden, mansions in the Hamptons, then pursued west like colonial expansion, storming through an enemy encampment. Throwing tanks in the air because I'm stronger than Samson. Writing rhymes longer than flavors been lamping. Not satisfied with songs, I pen anthems. Start witty bonics, then blend in some Sanskrit. I speak in spells, what I say is enchantment. Grip a microphone and start to run rampant. Talking over any airwaves and any bandwidth. Now I control what you can and can't transmit. Anywhere I go, I hear my jams chanted. Challengers step up and I ran the gamut. Took them all on from Pakistan to Kansas. To put it candid, my freshness resells the rancid and all who can't match Rand standards. Um, yeah, man, we had a good time recording that joint. That's my man. I think that was Shanti's joint. The track was called I'm gonna curse a little bit. It's called "Fuck You Shit." Me, Nate, JJ, Ad Liberal, Shanti, figure speech. You did the damn thing on that joint. I like that track a lot. Yeah, I gave y'all a little extra joint. Why not? One of these days, I'm gonna record this song that I did about a song called "Downward Spiral," about uh about a rookie cop that uh starts off as a good guy and then gets corrupt. Got a joint in here called "REM Sleep" that I was writing. What's the deal is in here? I got a bunch of joints in here that I wrote that I was just like, there's a joint in here called Catharsis, just cause just getting some stuff off my chest. Hmm. Yo, I was getting kind of mad about some of this stuff. I wrote this joint called Bizarro World, which is about me being like the most thugged out dude ever. Uh, Look, all right. So this is the first verse of Bizarro World. So this is how you know how much it's not me, but I want y'all to get where this is, and I may actually record this track sometime. It goes, under a blood red sky, I stand on the bodies of a bunch of dead guys I killed up in Bed-Stuy with bright red eyes and my head high. 357 Desert Eagle pistol strapped to my left side. Niggas ready to recognize, prepare for the slaughterhouse. Murder on a level Chuck Manson never thought about. So a warning to the fake and the fraudulent. Step up wrong and I start clapping like an audience. When I'm busting off, I make armies run for cover. I got a Glock in one hand, a shotgun in the other. Running into one another, trying to escape this. When I'm done, I'm up to my knees in shell cases like Neo in the Matrix. The whole place is going ape shit. Double tap chest shots, one in your faces, then dip into an alleyway. Jet out the Caliway with 2 blunts, 2 dimes, and 2 cases of Alizé. Cause every now and again you gotta get a little bit goofy. But yo, Cats was really on that stuff for a minute. Like they was just murdering everybody. And there's a couple dudes in hip hop that I'm fairly certain have caught a body. I've mentioned that before, and maybe not lots of them, but at least one. Um, but so yeah, this has been the Bars Breakdown Unrecorded edition. There's a ton of stuff in these books, and some of it I'm gonna go back and record. Some of it I just have fun sort of reading every now and again. Um, and but I'm proud of all of it. I am proud of the folks that got me into writing, and and the work that I've done. Um, yeah, I see. I still write. I mean, I have a lot of stuff on my phone because as I'm out and about, I'll just start writing stuff. Like an idea popping in my head, I'm like, you know what? Let me just put that down, blah, 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 blah. And then I wind up finishing the whole song there. But sometimes yeah, sometimes it's just easier to do it like that, and other times it's just like it's fun to just break out the book. I just got another book that I started writing in, so there'll be a little bit more weight in my backpack next time we hit the road. Um, yeah, man. Thank y'all for hanging out with me. It's been a fun hour with you. Yeah, Jess. Yeah, you right. I got there's papers just floating around somewhere of just rhymes that I started and never finished. So shout out to all of those. But yeah, man, this has been the Bars Breakdown, Gangstagrass.tv, except not .tv tonight. Shout out to everybody that hung out with us on YouTube. Hopefully all the Twitch people and Facebook people will be able to join us this Friday night on the Gangstagrass live stream. And we will see y'all then. It's your man, our son, the voice of reason, a.k.a. Vox Ratio, the Comic Book Jedi, the Super Tribble Nation, wherever I'm at, you're at. Comic Book Jedi, the Amalgam Comics and Coffee House. Shout out to my Amalgam family. I'll see y'all tomorrow. And yeah, y'all be cool. Y'all be good. I will see y'all on the swing back. And it's like that. Yeah, we are. Let's stay connected, man. I love y'all. Y'all be cool. Peace.